Bella, a gentle and loving Labrador, became the foster mother of 3 helpless tiger cubs, tiny beings abandoned by their own mother. With all her tenderness and maternal instincts, Bella not only protected them, but also nurtured them with her unconditional love. Day by day, this sacred motherly bond grew, transcending species boundaries. However, 2 years later, something miraculous happened. Something no one could have imagined. Now, let's dive into the emotional story of Bella and her 3 tiger cubs. Don't forget to follow the channel for more touching and meaningful animal stories. In a wildlife sanctuary deep in the South American rainforest, there was a man named Ethan. He was a dedicated wildlife conservationist, always committed to rescuing abandoned or endangered creatures. One day, while returning from the forest, Ethan discovered a small puppy abandoned at the forest's edge. It was a tiny, weak, shivering Labrador, struggling to survive in the cold. Unable to leave the poor creature behind, he decided to bring it to the sanctuary, ensuring it received proper care so it could grow into a strong guardian. He named her Bella. Under Ethan's care, Bella quickly grew into a smart, loyal, and affectionate dog. She always stayed by Ethan's side, curiously observing everything around her, even the dangerous predators confined in cages. But no one could have predicted that Bella's kindness would lead her into a life-or-death challenge. 3 years later, Ethan received an urgent call from an animal rescue team. They had just found 3 abandoned tiger cubs. Without immediate help, they wouldn't survive. Ethan was unsure how to save these helpless creatures. Rescuing tiger cubs was an entirely new experience for him, as he had primarily cared for birds and smaller animals. But without hesitation, Ethan decided to bring them to the sanctuary. However, a significant challenge arose. The cubs were too young, refused to drink milk from a bottle, and were rapidly weakening. No one knew how to keep them alive. As hope was nearly lost, Ethan came up with a bold idea. He introduced Bella to the tiger cub's enclosure. To everyone's surprise, instead of showing fear or hesitation, Bella gently approached them, sniffing each cub one by one. Even more astonishing, having recently given birth herself, Bella accepted the tiger cubs as her own, allowing them to nurse. The starving cubs eagerly latched onto Bella, snuggling into her soft fur. From that moment, Bella became their devoted foster mother, caring for them with all her heart. As time passed, the 3 cubs, named Con, Tao, and Riku, grew stronger and larger, but their bond with Bella remained unchanged. Even when they became nearly 3 times her size, they stayed close, seeing Bella as an irreplaceable part of their lives. But then, the heartbreaking moment arrived. The 3 tigers had to be released into a wild environment to adapt to their natural habitat. It was a painful separation, as Bella and her foster children were torn apart. 2 years later, a devastating storm struck the sanctuary. The storm was so powerful that it destroyed protective barriers, causing many animals to flee in panic. Ethan and the staff worked tirelessly to move the animals to safety, but amidst the chaos, Bella became lost. In her panic, she instinctively ran toward the tiger enclosure, where Con, Tao, and Riku once lived. But now, it was home to 6 fully grown, dangerous tigers. When Bella jumped into the enclosure for shelter, the 6 massive tigers immediately noticed the small dog. They advanced toward her, their eyes glowing in the darkness, slowly surrounding her. From a distance, Ethan saw what was happening, his heart nearly stopping. There was no way to save Bella if the tigers decided to attack. But in that fateful moment, something incredible happened. From the corner of the enclosure, 3 massive tigers rushed forward, placing themselves between Bella and the approaching predators. It was Con, Tao, and Riku, the tiger cubs she had once raised. They had recognized their foster mother. With fierce roars, they stood protectively in front of Bella, snarling at the other tigers. The remaining tigers, startled by the determination of the 3 former cubs, hesitated for a moment before retreating into the shadows, choosing not to challenge them. When the storm subsided, Bella remained in the enclosure, still shielded by the 3 massive tigers. The entire sanctuary was astonished by the sight. No one could believe that the motherly bond between Bella and the 3 tigers had remained unbroken, even after 2 years apart. Under the pale moonlight, Khan, Tao, and Riku gently bowed their heads, softly nuzzling Bella, as if expressing their gratitude to the foster mother who had once saved their lives. The story of Bella and the 3 tiger cubs became a legend in the sanctuary. It stands as a testament to the fact that love knows no boundaries, that relationships built on kindness never fade, and that acts of compassion often return in ways no one could ever expect.